ever so sorry, Daisy.
Are you? When you're the one that's driven him away?
How'd you make that out?
Because you wanted Jimmy and not him, and that's why you were forced to go.
The upcoming Downton Abbey The Grand Finale picks up right in the early 1930s, a time when the Crawley family and everyone working for them at Downton are trying to find their way in a world that's changing faster than ever. It's set against a backdrop of big social shifts, tighter finances, and personal heartaches, promising a final chapter that's bound to be full of feeling and meaningful goodbyes. We don't have a full plot breakdown just yet, but from everything we've seen so far, the film is all about legacy, passing the torch, and learning to move on. Lady Mary is clearly stepping up to steer the estate, something the series has been slowly building toward for years. There's even a really moving scene in the trailer where she's sitting beside a portrait of her grandmother, the Dowager Countess. It's a lovely tribute to Violet Crawley and, of course, the late Dame Maggie Smith, who brought so much sharp wit and warmth to the character before Violet's death in the last film. One part of the trailer that definitely got people talking is the reveal of why Matthew Goode's character, Henry Talbot, isn't around. Turns out he and Lady Mary are going through a divorce, which has naturally caused a bit of a stir in their social circles. It's the sort of scandal that only makes the story richer, showing how even the upper crust aren't immune to complicated personal lives. Simon Curtis is back in the director's chair after also helming Downton Abbey: A New Era, and Julian Fellowes is writing the script again, which is pretty much the best guarantee fans could ask for. It means this story is still in the hands of the person who dreamed up the Crawleys and their world in the first place, so it's sure to feel like a true continuation. As for whether there's a trailer, absolutely. The first teaser is already out, and it does a wonderful job pulling at fans' heartstrings. We see familiar faces back at Downton, Lady Mary reflecting on all that's come before, and more tender nods to Violet's legacy. It's the kind of footage that reminds you why these characters matter so much and why it's going to be hard to say goodbye. While all this is going on with Downton Abbey, over on The Gilded Age, Julian Fellowes' other hit show, there's actually been some fun chatter about how the two worlds could eventually collide. The new season of The Gilded Age recently had a big moment when Gladys Russell finally married the Duke of Buckingham. By the end of that episode, she's off to start a new life with him at Sidmouth Castle in England. So even though it's set decades before Downton Abbey's timeline, it plants seeds that could easily grow into something more later on. Fellowes himself has even commented on how if we dropped in on Downton during the 1880s, we'd probably catch Violet Crawley as a young woman, perhaps just getting her start in the aristocratic world. He's pointed out that it wouldn't be the characters we've all grown to love just yet. More likely, it'd be Violet's husband and a bunch of people we've only heard about in passing. But still, there's something exciting in knowing these timelines overlap in his imagination. It's fun to think about how a young Cora Crawley might have been living in Ohio back then, possibly visiting New York and brushing shoulders with the Russells long before she ever crossed the Atlantic to marry Robert. And even though Fellowes has brushed off serious crossover talk in the past, he's also teased that never say never. So, who knows? It might not be completely out of the question someday. Even some of the Gilded Age's stars are on board, saying it'd be amazing to link up the two shows. Harry Richardson, who plays Larry Russell, even joked about hoping his character gets to go to England to visit his sister. It's the kind of playful speculation that keeps the door open just enough to dream. And speaking of doors being left open, Julian Fellowes recently gave an interview where he was asked point blank if the grand finale truly means the end of Downton Abbey. His answer? Not exactly. He admitted that every time he says he's done, within a year he finds himself pulled back into that world again. So even though this movie might be the last outing with the original cast, who have all been at this for about 15 years, it's clear he's not ruling out more stories. There's always the possibility of exploring the next generation of Crawleys someday. It actually makes a lot of sense from a business perspective too. Downton Abbey has been a huge success, both critically and with audiences all over the globe. Just putting that name on a project guarantees attention. So, of course, everyone involved would want to keep that option alive. Creatively, Fellowes has hinted that if there were ever more Downton Abbey, it could center on the younger heirs. Between Mary's children with Matthew and Henry, plus all the little ones from Edith and the rest of the family, there are plenty of characters to pick up the story. And while some people wonder if a brand new cast could ever capture the original's magic, it's worth remembering that Fellowes knows exactly how to balance fresh faces with the weight of history. If anyone could make it work, it's him. But honestly, what's kept Downton Abbey so compelling all these years isn't just the gorgeous settings or the clever plots. It's always been about these specific people. The Crawleys and their staff are woven together in this fascinating, sometimes fragile web of dependence and loyalty. That unique upstairs-downstairs bond is the heart of the whole series. Even when a beloved character died or moved on, it was handled in a way that felt earned and important. And because so many of the original cast stuck around from start to finish, there's been this incredible continuity that gave every new twist even more emotional weight. So as the grand finale prepares to bring their story to a close, it feels like the right moment to truly celebrate what made Downton Abbey special. The trailer is full of lines like "the family will never forget" and "it's time to say goodbye," which capture that bittersweet mood perfectly. One shot even shows Lord Grantham resting his hand against the walls of Downton, almost as if he's personally thanking the house for holding so many memories. Joanne Froggatt, who plays Anna, has said that this third film is a beautiful send-off, one last chance to see these characters we've followed for so long find their conclusions. That doesn't have to mean it's goodbye forever to the world of Downton Abbey, though. It just means this chapter is ending exactly as it should, on a high note that respects everything that's come before. In a way, there's something really powerful about that. Too many stories these days drag on without ever offering a real ending. But a strong, heartfelt farewell can actually make the whole journey feel even more meaningful. So whether this truly is the final time we visit Downton with these characters, or it just clears the stage for future generations to step into the spotlight, it's pretty exciting to see it all come together like this. And who knows? With Julian Fellowes already half joking that he can never say never, maybe someday we'll find ourselves back at Downton, meeting new faces who carry echoes of the past. Until then, we can enjoy this last grand adventure with the Crawleys and their devoted staff, knowing it's been one remarkable ride. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.